and then various strategies. I would like to now, think of, I have a solution available to me. I would allow my friend Ravi Nukala to talk about what is that solution and how it looks like. But let's for some time we'll think that we have a solution at our hand, an approach, that a great approach we have thought of, and how we should go about adopting that test automation adoption for the first time test suite development. So ideally we should go about quickly team formation. We should build a team, we should train them, and then we should always keep in mind that we should establish the process for regression testing and various other test automation deliverables, taking reference from automation artifacts developed for pilot from previous software release. You may already put together group of test suites for previous version of the software. You can even leverage on that to establish a process. So you will not think about establishing a process or fine-tuning the process later when actually you have to perform the work for a new software. So let's think that we should think about the process and leverage on assets that you may have created for the pilot with the previous release of the software or application under test. And then we would like to validate UI-based framework that I talked about is the solution with application under test. So before doing anything else, ensure that you have tested this UI framework for the new release of the software that is under test, so that you are not going to again having a back and forth with your the system development team on various issues. So freeze out on all the issues, uncover all the issues, and resolve all the issues at this stage. And then think of populating reusable automation, object libraries, task libraries, establish logical structure for objects, task libraries for reusability, everything at this time. Focus heavily on reusability. So let's not hurry up in creating objects and tasks that we just end up completing the work, but still those objects and tasks are not yet ready for reuse. That may not be a good situation. We should be able to go ahead and reuse them right after the creation, right? So we can leverage on the functional test team for objects hunting, because these people are aware I think there is some issue. Okay, so sorry that sometimes the audio is going on and off, but I think we can get back as soon as possible. Yeah. So we should be able to leverage on the functional test teams and to hunt for the objects, and then leverage on the test automation team to create the objects, etc. And then once we have quite good number of objects and tasks for undertaking a pilot, we should be able to define scenarios and test cases for one major function area as pilot. Where you can develop supporting artifact based on process requirements, implement, execute automation in couple of locales at this stage itself. Any one European and any one Asian locale, that will help, so that you are testing the entire approach, and you're proving all the objectives for the test automation, etc. at this stage. Once you have achieved the pilot, so sit and review whether we have achieved all the stated goals and objectives, all the requirements are sort of realized, and then take a decision to extend the test automation for all the functional areas that can be automated. So this is the approach that I would recommend, that for a new test case execution. Then at the same time, we should not overlook the maintenance process. Often it is like, okay, we will look at it when it is, when it comes to maintaining. No, we should upfront start thinking about how we're going to maintain, continuously think about that. So here I would recommend a bottom-up approach, like where we first look at various those object libraries, and we kind of validate those objects against the new software release fix the issues at the stage itself. These objects are very much, like unique objects in the library. So optimally, you can put the effort and you can be very creative in achieving this, and ensure that you have a logical structure for the object library that can be used for locating objects in the UI, so that you don't spend a lot of time in locating the objects in the UI, and thereby it will reduce lead time and maintenance, and note down any functionality changes. So as and when you change, you see some issues with objects, it can be a opportunity to note down some functionality changes happening, and that can be an early warning signal to the testing team, right? And then once you're done this, then run the unit tests, fix the issues. So unit tests are very smaller tests that where you must have used any object at least once, and fix the issues, so that before you get into execution of larger test suites in a batch mode, right? It's important you do this, and then run the regression test suites, and then you should be doing the investigation of each failures, and then and generate a report. And this is known to most of the testing fraternity, and they should be understand this. We don't have to really worry about much here, but reaching to this stage optimally is important, and then we should be able to update the test suites and re-execute the test, so that the overall objective of maintenance is achieved in providing the feedback on the regression test. I think at this stage I may want to just start looking at some questions maybe, and I will